We are live. Hello, 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 hello. On this not so cold evening here in London. Um, Welcome to the show. It is the preview for tomorrow's game against Inter Milan, and I've got well, I'm gonna have to introduce the main man Neil himself. He's been on the channel before, making a second appearance. How are you, Neil? You good?
Very good, my man. Very good. Yeah, good, good, good. Looking forward to the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hopefully,
I am
hopefully
as
a lot of
well.
changes. Hopefully a lot of
Yes,
changes, and
that's what I mean. Exactly that. You know what I mean? And first time on the channel, he's making his debut, and I'll be watching him later on as well. I'll be watching him later on. You know, this is the man with all the trips. You know, you can find him at 3 o'clock UK time on a Saturday. You can find him 12:30 later on this morning. I'm still waiting on the European trip and the Oceania trip for New Zealand and Australia. We have the one and only Gary DWTT in the house.
Hello,
How
sir.
are
Thanks for
you?
having me on. Thanks for having me on,
No,
Bernie. I'm
you're
doing
very,
good.
very welcome.
Yep. Hello, Neil, and everybody in the chat. Yeah. No,
hey, Gary.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. Definitely enjoying this. I haven't done a preview show in a while, so this is good. This is good. Usually, I just do it after aftermath. So this is good to talk
Yeah, of
about what
course.
might happen as opposed to what I just saw.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I hear that, man. No, but thanks coming on both of you. This won't, like I said, this won't be too long because we'll have a a little bit to talk about. But what I want to do is I don't I'm not gonna talk about Saturday because one, you two already spoke about it yesterday. I did catch up with the takeover match reaction. That was great viewing from yourselves. Great opinions as well from all of you. And I did a little something on my channel on Saturday while I was getting a takeaway. Funny enough, that's when I just did a little review of what I saw. And I think all I will say is, lads, is that I wasn't happy with the performance. Everything else, chances we got to take, we should have taken. Sorry, but also I'm looking at it now thinking we've got another lifeline because Villa didn't capitalise. So that's how I'm looking at it. And basically, the manager, the players as well, they've got to look at this and think, hold on a minute, we're very lucky here. So we know that Man City will go and beat Wolves next weekend. So you know what? Let's go out and let's go and beat United on Sunday. Really, really beat them, and that's what we have to do. Do you both agree, gents?
Gary, you can go first.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yes. Well, you know what? As many people have said, we respond usually to these kind of little deficits, little blips, right? So
Mm.
I just expect another. I just expect us to respond. So yes, so we drop points. I expect us to come out and play a little bit more energized and ready to correct the wrongs and get all 3 points this time around. So yep.
100%. What about you, Neil?
Yeah, I think for me, look, I want a response from the players. I also want a response from Arteta. Is what I want to see. I want to see. We spoke about it at nauseum about and I think I don't want to ever come across as hating any of our players because they're all Arsenal players, and I respect and love all of the Arsenal players. But I think from my perspective, I think the proof's in the pudding when Odegaard was out injured.
Yeah.
We had Eze playing. We were a lot more attacking minded. We were doing more in the final third. And I'm really sorry. Home game, I don't care who it's against. I want us to go out there and get on top of Man United and don't let them get a foothold in the game. They're a good team. You look at their front line, they have a good team. And if we let them get a foothold in the game, like City did, they could cause us problems with their front line. So I want to see a reaction from the boys. I want to see them up for the game, but I also want to see a reaction from Arteta, and I do want to see Eze starting. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I like to see him starting as well. No, 100%, 100%. But let's just go into the comments. Oh, and then that's Gary telling everyone hello, hello, hello.
That's good, Anthony. Thanks for
Big
joining.
up. Yeah, big up, Anthony. Hello, Gary. Bye, Gary. Hope you're well, mate. God bless him. And of course, Arsenal above all, he got like, share, subscribe to the man. And thank you, Michael, for that. Yes, gents, top lineup. Better than Mikel Saturday night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Top lineup. You know, we're having Ant and Deck on in a little while as well. But I don't want to talk about Newcastle, but yeah. Big up to my guy, Chris. Big up.
Chris.
Yes, Chris. Hope you're well also. And who are you playing tomorrow? You're playing as well. I know Spurs have got Dortmund tomorrow, but who are you playing Champions League either tomorrow or Wednesday?
I don't know who Liverpool have got.
Yeah, Chris will let us know. This lineup is not ultra defensive.
Yeah, they don't. I think they play on Wednesday. So
yeah. Okay. Oh, they're away at Marseille. Oh, Aubameyang. Yeah, he's been firing this season, hasn't he, as well, Aubameyang?
Be a tough game.
Oh, yeah. Right. Let's talk about tomorrow evening. I mean, it's Inter Milan. It's San Siro. Been there before a few times. We've either lost there, we've won there. I mean, there's one victory that I can remember, which was probably our biggest victory ever in the San Siro. That was a 5-1 win in 2003, 2004. Yeah, Henry got a couple of goals that night. And I think it was Freddie Ljungberg, Perez, and Edu scored. That's I remember watching that game. I remember it was a fantastic game, and then I just remember, yeah, guys, that I don't know if this was the same for yourselves, but I remember going to Highbury on the Sunday after that win, and we was at home to Fulham, and I was thinking after that 5-1 win, I thought, oh my gosh, we're gonna absolutely smash Fulham. We're gonna smash them. It was 0-0, and Edwin van der Sar pulled off probably the best goalkeeping display I've ever seen live at any game. It was just, we pummeled him. And it was like, wow. It wasn't like 0-0, the 0-0 last Saturday, where we just had like very few chances and 3 on target. But oh my gosh, we left that stadium not disappointed, but you know, after something like that from a big win in San Siro, that can happen. But then that was 2003, 2004, and we know what happened later on in the season, don't we? So, but no, Neil, I'll speak to you first though. But what's your thoughts and what's going through your mind with tomorrow's game, and what are you expecting Mikel Arteta to do? And do you think he should go strong, not so strong, because we're in a really good position in terms of first place, and it looks like we've got top 8 wrapped up.
Right. So I'll give you 2 opinions here. 1, what I think will happen, and 2, what I know will happen. We'll go with the first opinion, what I think will happen. I think Arteta's going to go pretty strong. And I think that's to save face from his point of view. He doesn't want to get beaten in the Champions League, and this is a chance for him to showcase his Arsenal team against some of the best teams in the world. So from that point of view, I think that's what will happen. What I want to happen is I think we need rotation. I think Martinelli should start, because these are the types of games he should be playing in, not in the Premier League. Unfortunately, I think Eze is going to start, which I don't want. I would like him to go there, play attacking football, see the boys give all they can and as much heart as they can with good rotation. and try and get the win. If I'm honest, I don't want to lose games. I don't want to throw any game this season, but at the same time, I've got one eye on Sunday with United. So for me, I think he'll go strong. I would love to see a Zubimendi or a Rice at 6 and an Ødegaard and Eze playing in the midfield. He won't do it because it's an unbalanced side for him. Because when we say unbalanced, it's unbalanced for Arteta because he's defensive minded. Whereas a lot of us would think, well, it's not unbalanced because it's just a bit more attacking. But yeah, I'd like to see some rotation. I think Gyökeres needs a break. I would definitely give Gyökeres a break. But again, I would bring him on in the last 15, 20 minutes when there's hopefully a bit of space in the game and let the guy get a bit of confidence back in teams that aren't low blocking him constantly. Yeah, so that's my point of view really about tomorrow. And hopefully we get the win. I'd like a win. I don't want to lose any games. Purely and also simply for the fact that I think winning is a mentality. And I think if you lose, that can damage your mentality one of two ways, either damage your mentality or give you the kick up the arse you need for United on Sunday.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Couldn't agree with you more. Gary, what's your thoughts as well?
Yeah, there's always those two train of thoughts that you have with Arteta, what Arteta's going to do and what you would like us to do. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to go strong based on what we've done in the past. Everybody looks at the past. Arteta goes strong, and in the games where you think he should take it easy, you know what I mean? Like, this is the same thing we had last time. We had a Chelsea game coming up, the Bayern Munich game, which didn't actually matter whether we won or draw that one. It might have given Bayern they might have thought they were really good if we just kind of took it easy on them based on the way that game ended up. But now they probably have something to fight for if we see them again. So it might backfire. Same thing with PSG, right? We play PSG during the league, the table, the early rounds, and then we played them later on. They had a little something to respond to. So I think mentally it didn't work out. So we'll see what happens this time around. This game, Arteta, he thinks a lot, but he doesn't get it sometimes. I think So we'll see. But definitely would like to see definitely like to see him in Wary start. Martinelli, of course, is our Champions League player. He basically does come. He delivers. So you know what? I expect him to deliver again. Inter allow goals, like everybody else. They allow goals. So what's going to probably happen? 0-0, right? Every time we come into a game where the other team cannot keep a clean sheet, we basically show them, yeah, you can. And so I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time around. They, as I've said, I'll say that I'm a broken record. There's nobody that should concern us. Nobody in the world that we potentially might play this season should concern us. We're too strong defensively, no matter how many injuries we get. So they're gonna struggle to break us down. We just need to finish our dinner. It would be nice to see Gyökeres get off the Sinai and get some back-to-back games, but I think I've been saying he needs to take a break mentally and physically anyways. So I would rather have Kai start and we pull him whenever. Just pull him whenever. If that means 30 minutes, pull him. If that means 40 minutes, pull him. But get him. I think I like the Gyökeres and Kai Havertz kind of mix than I do anything else we have going. So if you can get those two guys playing, however we get them playing, I'd rather have that than Jesus. Have Jesus come on late. He's our sub. He's a super sub if he's going to be a sub at all. That's kind of what I'd like to see. So yeah, give me Eze and Wary, Martinelli, and if Kai, that's kind of it sounds crazy, but that's what I would like to see. I don't know if he's going to get the minutes in him yet, but defensively we have to. We've been managing, so whatever we have available, he's going to switch it around. Maybe Timber should get a break.
Yeah,
Rice or Mendy should get a break, if not both. So Norgard needs to play.
I agree.
Yeah, Norgard.
Norgard needs to be. I mean, we brought him in for a reason. He's the reason. When Rice and Zubimendi, one of them is needs a little bit of a break. He's supposed to be the answer. So
I agree. I mean, guys, I'll be happy with Norgard and Marino in midfield. tomorrow in the 6 and 8. I'll be happy to see that, because Rice definitely needs to, he does need that rest. But
Yep.
interesting. I will want to talk about Declan Rice actually in a minute. But if you set up defensively like we did, you will beat them or go away with a point. Yeah, I mean, well, it's two defensive minded managers. Well, a former midfielder, and we're up against a manager who was a left back and could also play centre back in Christian
Yep.
Chivy. He wasn't a bad player at all. I used to buy him all the time in my football manager game when it was Championship manager all them years ago. No, he was a really good player. He was quality, absolute quality.
To be fair, I don't normally wear them, but yeah, I wanted to give them a go this evening. So yeah.
Oh dear. Like Chris, yeah, you don't want to start first in league phase. We ended up getting PSG. Just qualify as the main thing. Yeah, I mean, well, PSG. That was just I've never seen anything crazy like that before. Where you're so rocky in the early rounds, and then all of a sudden you get stronger as
Bang.
they go on. You know what I mean? And yeah, crazy.
But then look at them after the season when Chelsea destroyed them in the World Cup football nonsense tournament. They look desperate, but I think most of them were on holiday by that stage.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if you all know about Carefree Lewis, big Chelsea fan.
Yep.
I saw him. I saw him about 3 weeks after that, 3 weeks after. I saw him just down the road from me. He was on his phone and he was wearing his world champions Chelsea top. And I thought to myself, you know what? That guy probably wore that for 3 weeks without washing it. I was going to buy him some Daz or some Surf or something, you know what I mean? But hey, each their own. Each their own. You know what I mean?
That's a good comment. That's a good comment.
It is, isn't it? But do you think the fact that Inter need to win will play into our hands with the game being a bit more open? I think so as well. It is a perfect stage for Martinelli. I do definitely.
I think they're sitting ninth in the table, so they can't. They have to get at least a point just to at least put pressure on everybody else, because I think there's about 4 or 5 teams all with the same points right now. So whoever gets the win will stay in the top 8. So definitely they want to get something out of this, and Martinelli should punish them, right? Eze, if he's starting, will punish them if they open up like that, which means they're not going to be as solid and as clean defensively. So no. It should be a perfect game for us. It'll be just like the Atletico Madrid game where they tested us and it backfired. So
Well,
I mean,
exactly.
I think from my point of view, with regards to Inter Milan, I think they're a good team. And you always have to be wary going to San Siro, but I think from my point of view, look, we should win this game. Like Gary said, I don't think there's anyone that truly we should be worried about. We're talking about Champions League, obviously, but I'm a bit worried about Sunday just because of this new manager bounce and everything. But other than that, I think, from my point of view, tomorrow we go there, we do a job, professional job, like we have been doing in the Champions League this season. Get the job done, get back as soon as possible, and mind straight onto Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Martinelli's pace will be useful against slower paced teams like Inter Milan. Yeah, it would do. I mean, like I say, Martinelli has shone in the Champions League game, doesn't he? Really, whether he started or come off the bench, and has he? If I'm not mistaken, he scored in every Champions League game this season, hasn't he?
Yeah,
hasn't he? Wow.
Yes.
That is something, and we're not going to be up against no low blocks tomorrow either.
But that's the difference, mate. It's the way the European teams are trying to play against us. Look, I still think they'll be very defensive, but I think from our point of view, I mean, we've seen this for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
5 years. You would hope that Arteta knows, or clearly doesn't, how to beat a low block by now.
Yeah.
I've been asking that question since we've seen it the first time, and it stumped him, right? I, like, go. There's got to be. Where's the assistant coach that's for that? Like we get a specialist for our set pieces. We got a specialist for our throw-ins. How about I'll go crazy here. How about a low block specialist? Because guess what?
Yeah.
Once you have the answers to those questions, then you're fine.
But I think that's where, when we started scoring from the set pieces, that was Arteta's mindset against low blocks. So that's all right. We'll score on a set piece. We'll get a free kick close to the area. And my worry is the set pieces have dried up slightly in the league, and I'm sitting there going, "Come on, you're being paid a lot of money. You've bought in a lot of very good players. You need to be able to be beating these low blocks now."
Yeah, and for me, I think it's still a mindset with the players. The attackers are defense first. The defenders, for me, seem to be like they're attack minded. Our defenders, right? You look up and you've got defenders in the box, and you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? I mean, they get back, but they're in the box as well. And you're like, how can that be? Why are you releasing the reins for your defenders and your attackers? They're mentally, it seems like they're thinking about making sure they don't create a counter with any maneuver that they make, any pass that they put out there. When in reality,
and I think that's such a good point as well, because I don't want Timber to be occupying the spaces that our number 10s and number 8s should be occupying. Overlaps 100% what Benny White does when he's on the overlap, and that's great. But how many times a season has Timber got in the way of one of our strikers trying to do something? And I made a point the other night of overcrowding the box, drawing their defenders into the box. There's not enough space in there to move. So, you're saying to Gyökeres, create space. And he's like, I am, but Timber's taking it, or Calafiore's taking it. And I think those are the spaces we want Eze to be in, or Ødegaard to be in, or Rice to be in. We want them to be hitting the ball at the goal. I don't want Timber hitting the ball anywhere apart from as a pass to one of our midfielders or our wingers.
Yeah. Exactly, or if he's overlapping.
Yeah, it's funny because you look. Everybody says go look at the Gyökeres video, the videos from last year of all his goals and stuff, and you see he loves to have tons of space and some space to run into. He doesn't get that in Arsenal. One, because we're slow. Two, when we do have the opportunity to do it, we don't just make that pass blindly. We make a blind pass on the back line, but a blind pass in the midfield up to where your center forward is supposed to be. We won't do that. I don't get it. Right, we've given away goals because of blind passes, but we don't see that there's another way. At least Arteta doesn't. That guess what, guys? You can do the same thing because Gyökeres is going to make that run, right? We've seen it in a couple of games where we turn the ball over in midfield. Just he put the ball right through the middle. He'll be there. He's going to run. He does it consistently. Just put the ball there,
I think,
he'll get there.
And I think on that point as well. I at the moment I'm giving Ødegaard a lot of stick at the moment.
I am as well.
A lot of it, a lot of stick at the moment, because you see him playing with Haaland, who is a very similar striker. Yes, he's a better all-round footballer than Gyökeres, but he is a similar striker to Gyökeres, right? And then you watch Ødegaard playing with Haaland in the national team. And he is passing those balls through, and he is making those little movements and little blind passes through. And I'm sitting there going, is it then Arteta telling him, do not make those passes? I don't want to lose the ball. I want control of this game. That's what annoys me.
I think it is. I mean, that seems that way with the players and how they play at times, and how they go sideways a lot, and then they're keeping the ball in our own half for like 48 to 52 seconds before we actually do something with it. And I was thinking, I keep thinking that every game when I see that, I'm thinking, no, we've got to move the ball quicker than this. And plus, but then we get pressed so easily when we're keeping the ball in our own half. And I feel there's certain things that it's like even Bobby said this as well because he's basically said it's a case of if you if you keep disobeying Arteta, you will you will be out. You will be on the bench. You will be on the bench, and also he doesn't like a lot of players who because of they their defensive side of the game is good, but these are attacking players we're talking about, and that's not always going to be the case with attacking players. He cannot have a winger or say even someone who plays in a 10 to come back and be a part time centre off. It just doesn't work.
But that's what's really annoying me is you got, but well, imagine Berta sitting in his office. He's sitting there saying, "I've given you probably one of the top 10 players in the Premier League last season in Eze."
Yeah,
and you've got behind him, you've got Rice, Zubimendi, you've got the defenders we've got that play in the league, even the ones that don't play in the league. I don't want Eze running back and defending. I want him scoring goals. I want him passing the ball to Gyökeres to score goals or to Kai to score goals. I don't want Eze defending. I don't care. You didn't buy Eze or spend 62 million quid on Eze to defend. You bought him to be that attacking flair to break down low blocks. That's why you bought him. Use him like that. Use him like that. That's what he is.
Yeah,
I agree. I totally
Crazy.
agree. But yeah, let me just get into these chats anyway. So we've got with Chris Troy Martinelli is the number 9 where he played under Emery, running in behind into defence. I mean, he was different gravy, weren't he, at the time when he first came to Arsenal? He was just wow, live wire he was. But then again, I always said that I think Martinelli would be fantastic in a 4-4-2. But who plays 4-4-2 nowadays? No one in the world hardly plays 4-4-2. Maybe 20% of the world plays 4-4-2. You know what I mean? I mean that was my favourite position. Maybe because it's probably the same for you guys as well. Playing football, we always played. I always played 4-4-2, and I'd stopped playing football before the 4-2-3-1 came in and the 4-3 2-1 all of that and 4-3-3 so I stopped playing football long before that came around, so but I loved the 4-4-2. Absolutely loved it. Can never work out why Arteta hasn't tried him at centre forward. Well, well, that's something from Michael there. I mean, can you explain why that's been the case, guys?
Gary?
I'm going to say that's Arteta. He does, he does weird things sometimes. I don't know. He's got it set in his mind, right? That Martinelli is a left wing, and once he does that, it's stuck, right? Even though it's the same thing with it was Xhaka, right? He tried Xhaka everywhere he could, except for where he was best suited, further away from our goal, right? The further away he got from our goal, the better off he got, right? The closer he got to our goal, basically we were scared, right? So
and the more penalties we gave away.
so put the guys in a good position to succeed, and you'll be all right. Arteta doesn't see that sometimes, but yeah, I think he's got it set in his mind what he wants out of his. I don't know if Martinelli can do the things that he wants from like a Kai Havertz, all right? And that's the problem. He's got it set in his way of how a center forward should play. But guess what? There's not that many that do that, and the best one I think is Harry Kane. I think we come up with that name as like the best player to fit into our system, and we're not getting him. We're not going to pay for him. So maybe you have to change and go with something else. So Martinelli would be. I would love to see him up there, but would Arteta have him playing back on the back line? We've seen Lacazette start as a striker, right, and sit between two of our center backs in a game. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen that. So
Yeah.
so Arteta has a weird way like of using the players that are supposed to score and ask them, and then we wonder why we struggle to score some games, right? They need to be able to have that freedom. We're solid with the five at the back, and as you said, if it's Zubimendi and Rice back there, then let the other guy roam, right? If that's Eze, if that's Erdegaard, don't worry about what's behind you.
Yeah.
Rice has got it. Zubimendi has got it. They'll protect the back line. Don't worry about it, and let him have some fun up there, and break and see what's out there. Because I don't think he's even looking to break down a defense when he looks forward.
See, for
First
me,
forward is let's make the
Mm.
99% pass, right?
yeah,
And that kind of holds us back sometimes. It's like, you know what? I'll take the 75-80% chance that breaks a line, opens up one of our wings, and allows the striker to come in, and get a pass quickly without having to wait for the defense to settle. All right. So
Yeah.
I'll give a reason why I think Martinelli doesn't play centre forward, particularly in the Premier League. The Premier League has changed over the years. You see how big these centre backs are, how fast, how physical they are, and I just don't think Martinelli's got the physicality to hold the ball up and bring other players into the game. Don't get me wrong. I think trying Martinelli in the number 9 position in the Champions League would work, because he's quick enough and we play slightly more expansive football in the Champions League. But I think for the Premier League, I kind of get why Arteta won't play him there. I don't think he's got the physicality to play in the number 9 position, particularly in the Premier League, that is.
Mind you, it's a good thing Martinelli wasn't at the club 30 years ago, because he would have to bulk up, because in training you've got what, Tony Adams, David O'Leary, Andy Linnigan, Steve Bowles, and then Martin Keown came back to the club in '93, and then you're thinking, they would have
smashed him.
Yeah,
they would have smashed him.
Lee Dixon, Nigel Winterburn. Oh my god.
But that's the thing sometimes, though, right? I'm not going to battle with you, but I'll just run by you, kind of thing, right? At some point, you got to use your quickness and speed to combat the player that wants to come up and knock you down a little bit. You run by them, then they're going to get you at some point, but a lot of times you're going to get by them as well, and that's when they're in trouble. Yeah. So it kind of works. It works a little bit both ways. We see that in every sport. The slower, quicker guy can outrun the big guy who wants to just knock you down.
Yeah.
And so that's how they would have to use him, of course. Because if Gyökeres can't even hold up a ball, there's no way Martinelli can. So, unless I'm missing something, for Martinelli's game, I don't. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, what I'll do is just got some more comments as well, and after the comments, I do want to talk about Declan Rice, because I want to talk about his passion. There's something that I will say, and then I'll let the two of you come on Declan Rice. So big up SPO 95. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Really, really do. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. I know you're happy of Manchester City lose the next Arsenal's games against United. If Arsenal plays against United like against Forest, Arsenal will drop points. Yeah, 100%. I've said this, and we cannot sit back. We cannot sit back, SPO, seriously, next Sunday, because my fear is, because of United's manager bounce, my fear, right, is that if we would go 1-0 up and it's 1-0 at half time, Arteta's just going to have us sat back, hold on to the lead.
We need a 2-goal cushion.
Oh, we do. But you see, and that's the thing, it's just, this is what scares me. Whenever we play a big name, and I say a big name because United have been so inconsistently bad, but credit to them, over a few years they have won trophies. But the thing is, it's like they're big in name, they always will be, and I'll always have that respect for United. But we should be beating them next Sunday. And when we went to Old Trafford and got the 1-0 win, I don't know why at times we sat back, and I don't know why we was cowardly. Well, actually, I do know why, because it's the manager. But there was no need. I think if we weren't cowardly that day, I think we'd have gone on to win the game 3-1, in my opinion. And this is the thing: we've got the squad now not to have those sort of games, and we've got the players that can do that. And this manager's just he's got to, break the chains. I mean, I've already said, man, this ain't roots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slavery was abolished a long time ago. Come on, let them off.
100%.
Let them off. Jeez.
But I also think, I think in the comments below, in the comment below, City underestimated United at the weekend.
Yeah, they did. They did. From the first minute, United were on it,
and United hit them hard. And they gave United a foothold. I mean, that game, let's face it, that game could have ended 4-0 to United quite easily. Because if anything, and I got to give United credit. I've always thought this season they've got the players, they just didn't have the manager to take them to the next level. Now, I'm not saying that they're on our level, nowhere near, but one thing I will say is they have gone up a level, and they have the players to go up those levels. Bryan Mbeumo is a player I wanted at Arsenal.
Me too.
I'm sorry, I would have taken him. I would have taken him over Noni, and I say that straight out. Even though I think Noni's doing very well, Mbeumo is a good player. Cunha's a good player. Fernandez is a phenomenal number 10. We need to take them seriously, but we need to play them and attack them rather than sit back, because they will hurt you if you sit back, as City tried it.
Yeah, definitely. But big up Shane Guna, big up bringing the panel. Thank you, Shane. And thank you. If it wasn't for that man there, I wouldn't have had the subscribers I've got at the moment. So, big up to you, man. Big up to you. One thing, Neil,
that you brought up that I think, we get upset about, but I think it does. It is the way Arteta thinks. He gives everybody respect. He gives every team respect, no matter where they sit in the table. That's why we play the way That's why we play the way we do. So if he continues to do that, he's like, no matter where they are in the table, he's giving them respect. We saw that against Wolves when we should have just blown them away.
Yeah.
We saw that against Liverpool when we should have just blown them away. He's gonna. I don't expect. If he does something different than that, then something's weird, something crazy is going on. So I assume he'll give him the same respect, especially after the first game of the season, when everybody thought, we might have a chance to get them. So
every team that's won leagues over the years, they've always been ruthless. No matter what, it could be in any league in the world, not just Premier League or when it was the old First Division. And you have to show that. I mean, we showed it a lot we've only seen 5 titles in our lifetime. 5 titles, and we were ruthless. We were ruthless. We had some games where we had some unsung heroes, and we've also had we showed a ruthless streak in us where we absolutely hammered someone. You know what I mean? And really hammered them. And I'm going to do a show one day. I've still got to do a show one day on unsung heroes anyway, in those title wins. I will do it at some point. It'd be great to have you guys on for that. And because there'd be lots to cover. But
I think from my point of view, we've shown we can do it against Villa recently.
This is the thing, and that hasn't come along very often, like with Villa and Tottenham. Newcastle away in the Premier League this season. It's still been my favourite away performance this season.
You know why though? That's because he got smacked in the mouth. Arteta is one of those things where he doesn't learn.
Yeah.
Right. He has to learn the hard way. Sorry, I have to say that he has to learn the hard way.
No, but it's true.
We seem to respond well, but we don't ever, as you said, go into the game thinking, look, they just took something from us already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you sometimes you win the game in the tunnel. They're like, why are these guys looking at us like we stole their lunch money or something like that? Because that's how that's the mentality that you want. And that's what we did in that Newcastle game. That's what we did when we played Villa the second time. Right?
Yeah.
So those are the games where we got smacked in the mouth and responded. The Liverpool match, I'm not sure what happened there because we didn't respond, and maybe it was just too much of a long time between games or something like that. But we responded. That game just went to the point where I guess we'll just take the draw, as opposed to Newcastle, where they got the first goal, we had to respond. City got the first goal, we had to respond. Sunderland got the first goal, we had to respond. Like
Yeah.
he's always
Yeah.
responding. He doesn't want to be proactive in these type of situations and take
No.
the same mentality that gets us the goals against
That's it.
City when they're trying to stop us from scoring,
Mm.
right? And the same thing just happened in a game, and we can't break it down because we don't do the same things. Like you bring Eze in, you give him 30, 40 minutes, it might look like that City match, right?
Mm.
Except for it's 0-0, so you might take the lead, right? You bring him in with 11 minutes, he doesn't have enough time because in the Premier League, once it hits 75, you're not. The game is going to go away. It's getting away from you. You've lost it at that point because they're not going to let you get in it.
Mm.
You know, there's yellow cards and pulling down and all that's going to happen. So you're never going to get what you expected. Whereas you give them 30 minutes, they're going to have to play football for a bit before they start doing all that.
He's
craziness.
he's going to be scared on Sunday. He's going to be scared of their counter-attacking
He will be.
speed.
He will be.
And I think
That's what I'm
that's why he'll be nervous about it. But Brett, if you hit them like we hit Villa, first off, bang, straight on them, that will push them back. We should be the ones in the tunnel scaring United, not the other way around. We should be sitting there.
Exactly. And you know what I mean, Neil? Have not just one good half, you know what I mean?
That's it.
Oh, but yeah. But no, I've totally but you know what? Hold on a sec. Yeah. Oh, because Martinelli, sorry, just what Michael was saying here, because Martinelli can start and maintain a press so well with his pace. Totally agree. We'll agree with that. If you could take one player from Inter Milan to improve Arsenal, who would you take?
That's a good question.
There are a few. I mean, I'm a big Thuram fan. I love Marcus Thuram. I think his work ethic as well as what impresses me. You know, he's always hungry. But then I wouldn't want this manager to take it. Manager probably take the hunger out of that. You know what I mean? Probably starve him to death, and that's what I would dread. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Marcus Thuram for me. You know, then at least we can meet his dad when he comes down to Emirates.
I would take Thuram as well. I think he's hungry. He's got a fight in him, which I like. Again, that would be my number one.
And as for when you look at forwards, I don't know many of their players, but when you look at someone like Martinez, you want them. You want the Martinez written man. You don't want the Martinez that played for Argentina in the last World Cup. You don't want that. Oh my God! You know he missed more than I would miss if I was playing during that World Cup. Jeez, crazy.
Yeah. I think whatever play we take from Inter, you have to be concerned whether or not they would get to play with Arteta, or would he stop them? Because I had to look at the potential lineup for tomorrow, and Thuram and Martinez named. They stood out to me because we need center forwards, we need strikers. Forwards. They would be.
Mkhitaryan still play for them.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Nicola
same age as me.
Yeah. Barella is another player I know whose name is
Barella,
and would be somebody we could take. But then once again, with Erdegaard there, would he even get a chance? So that's a problem.
Geez, I mean, Henrik Mkhitaryan is still going strong. Blimey. I'm put it this way, I'm the age that Sir Stanley Matthews was at when he quit playing football. So if you know the answers to that, answers not on a postcard, please. We don't do postcards anymore. So yeah. But, Shane's just saying here, yep. Martinelli scored 12 from 14 as centre forward under Emery. Yeah, he did. And as soon as Emery got sacked, we didn't see Martinelli, and at the time he was banging form, and Arteta wouldn't play him. And it used to frustrate me when at times Arteta wouldn't play him, and he was banging form. But then when you've got Martinelli who's not in form over the years, he gets games. I just don't get that. I really don't get that. But
I think I think we should try and sell Martinelli to Emery in the summer.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, I do well at Villa.
I think he'd do really well at Villa, mate. Very well.
100%. I mean, you see this as well from Shane. I mean, if City string 6 wins together, which they're capable of, they'll catch us. You see, I know they lost to United, but you can never rule them out. You can never rule them out.
And see, my only thing is we could do the same if we kind
Exactly.
of change, you know, and you know what? At least so far, 22 games in, it's been what it's been. Nobody's been consistent enough. We're probably as close to consistent in this league as anybody else, if not better, because we've already had that run of games where we've won. You know, pretty much we went a month winning games. Nobody's been able to do that.
We can't
sustain winning. So we might have the upper hand right now because of that. And you know what? We're gonna get healthy. I think when Calafiori comes back, if he comes back, I think that's when we'll know, because then Arteta will have what he wants. We'll have you have that left back that does the things he wants, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get back to a little bit where we were when we were running things.
And I have to say, Calafiori is one of my favorite players. I just love the brass balls on that guy. I really do. I think he's great.
Same here.
I know Ted's saving it for him. He won't give it to anybody else. Those balls are sitting on the table. Players walk by it; they're not allowed to touch them. So you know.
Well, listen, guys, let me. I just wanna also your thoughts on Declan Rice, because for me, from what I saw after the game, and I'll actually translate what he actually said. He said, "Friggin' silly. This is just friggin' had enough, and I want to go for a curry." That's what he really said. You know, that's the PG version. You know what I'm saying?
PG version.
You know, that's what he said. Well, but then when I get the 18 rated version, we know what he said. But you know what? When he was caught saying that, for me, I just thought, you know what? The man is passionate. The man cares, and this is someone who's only won a European Conference League, right? And he acts. His mentality, his attitude, for me, he should be Arsenal captain, but his whole attitude is of a man who's won 3 league titles and 2 FA Cups. That's his attitude. That's his mentality. He is a winner, and I think for him, I think there's some things that he's not happy with. It could be in what they do in training. It could be on the pitch. It's showing. He loves the club. Don't get me wrong, and he'll give put 150%. But I feel there's something that's not right, and on the pitch. And I just want to get from yourself. What do you think of? Because I'm a big Declan Rice fan. I mean, I love the guy. I think he's one of the best players we've got in the club, and I'd want Declan to stay at the club until he retires, and the manager is also, you know, at times burning out, because when he takes knocks, regardless whether he wants to stay on the pitch or not, I mean, you've got to look after him. So, you know, what's your thoughts on Declan Rice? And do you feel like he felt the? Do you agree with the way he felt, and not? Oh, you know what? Stop throwing your toys at the pram and blah blah. What's your take on Declan?
I want all of our players to feel like that.
Yeah.
I want all of our players to show that, to show their frustration, because you know what? We're in a title race. We're wanting to win the league. It's a year that I truly believe we will win the league. However, the mentality of the players, I want them to be angry when they drop points. I want them to challenge Arteta. They won't do that. But I think we saw a sneak little thing the other day. Don't get me wrong, I think the media are jumping on Deck being unhappy at the moment and blah, 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 because they want to destabilize Arsenal. We're the most hated team in the world. We know that.
Yeah.
But I think from my perspective, we've seen a little bit of frustration starting to come out with Deck having a go at the assistant coach, Steinberg, whatever his name is. But like I said to you, Bren, in the WhatsApp group, I don't mind that. I want to see that. I want to see them having a go at each other, because if people don't think that that happens in real life every day in football, in behind the scenes, it does happen in every team. But there is a lot of pressure on these guys, and these guys need to vent. So yeah, with regards to Dec, I think he's possibly one of the best midfielders in the world. I think every club would chomp at the bit to have Dec. And I think if we don't do something this season, there will be a few players questioning a few bits and pieces in our club this season. I think Declan Rice will be one of them. I think it was too late for Saka because he's just started a new contract. But I think Saliba, Gabriel, these types of players, Eze, I think these types of players have come here to win the Premier League this season. And I think if we don't do that, and we don't do it convincingly, I think a few of them are going to get annoyed, and a few of them are going to start to doubt this coach's methods. I really do.
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing now is why City wanted Rice. We're seeing now why if City had Rice right now,
they win the league.
I mean, just think about it. He will do everything for them, and he's really good at it. And he's not like, okay, he's just a jack of all trades. No, he's pretty good at what he does. And if he was playing for them, like don't worry about it. I got you, Foden. Don't worry about it. I got you. Bernardo Silva, don't worry about it. You know that? I mean, that's what we got. We got that guy that helps those guys out. And we have those, we have similar players on our side. And that's, he should be able to scream like that. And, he's trying to get everybody on his side. He needs somebody to jump on with him. No, I don't know if anybody's doing it, but he needs somebody to jump on and hang out, go for the ride with him on this, this journey we're trying to get through. So yeah, it was good to see the little fire from him. We saw it, after the Villa game when we lost. That was the fire that we all saw it. We all saw what he was screaming at. We saw what he was screaming at because I remember looking at it going, "Whoa, we're trying to win a game. What?" And Rice saw it and he talked about it. And I think if there's a voice of the team, it should be Rice's. He should be able to go and talk to Arteta and tell him, "Look, if I feel this way, there's others that feel this way. I'm not going to say a damn thing to you. You know what? We need to change something up, either, whatever it is, and there's probably players that hopefully can go to him and say, look, like Eze, dude, how do I get on this field? How do I get on this field? How can I help this team out? Because I want to do that, I want to help this team out like I did in the City match, like I did in the North London Derby, like I did in the, against Bayern Munich and all these types of things. So he is, he is our leader. He doesn't get the armband, but he's our leader. And he's the vocal one. Him and Gabriel, we got two of the top leaders in the league, I think, with what they bring to the table. We need something. He comes back from injury. First thing he does is say, look, open the bank account again with a goal, which gets us going again, right? So I think we've got two really good players there, Rice being up there and Gabriel. So it's good to see that. Yeah. No,
but have you?
There's no problem with. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say
no, you carry on.
I have no problem with him screaming at the coaches in the locker room, because that we're trying to win here. At the end of the day, we can hug after we get the trophy. Right now, it's a battle, right? It's a battle.
Yeah.
And can I just say, if we notice, who's Arteta made captain?
Yeah,
Ødegaard. Who's vice captain? Saka. Now, I don't believe in any of the. The reason they are both the captain and vice captain is I believe they won't go to the manager and say, I don't think what you did there was right.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Gabriel at Declan Rice will go up to him and say, you need to sort this out, because whoever, let's just say Saka did have an issue with Gyökeres, which I don't think is there. I think again that's media hype, but I think I want a captain that's going to go up to him and say, give him the ball, pass him the ball in space, let him score. And we don't have that. And I think there's a reason why we don't have that, because I think Arteta wants complete control over the team.
Yeah. I mean, was I going to say? Yeah, so what baffled me last week was just going on the captaincy was that the FA Cup game. I I mean I thought Arteta must have had about 3 hours of amnesia because I thought he would have given the armband to Gabriel and he gave it to Marino. I thought that was really
Yeah,
odd.
that was 20 minutes before in the shower, mate. That's why.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually thought maybe it's because Marino's missus must have made some whirls or some biscuits or some cookies or something that the wife made and was like, here you go, boss. Oh, you kept in today.
Mate, honestly, like,
Crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy. Right. So yeah. So that's from Michael to Chris about I'll take Barella. Inter, innit? Yeah. Oh, Barella. And my Mark again was he talking about Michael Oliver? Must be referring to
With your flowerful language, that's what he's saying.
Mind you, I think Michael Oliver I think he'd make any player swear, wouldn't he?
yeah.
That guy, man, seriously. Oh, Chris, Arteta is that person who would get a girl's number but won't ask her out. That's what he's like with not winning anything since lockdown. It's true, man.
It's true.
It
is
is true. You know, and yeah, so like I said, for the last 3 seasons, Arsenal should be winning something. We should be, but what I don't like is, you see, for me, right? I've been an Arsenal fan a long time, and when I first became an Arsenal fan, we were not consistent. We had the players. I'm going back to like 1982, 1983 season. We had the players, just wasn't consistent enough. They would compete, get knocked out of cup quarterfinals, cup semi-finals, and and then didn't have a good time under Don Howe for 3 years. Because I'm glad, even though when he left as Arsenal manager, he came back as coach, and he also used to be a coach for the England team. And but Don Howe's just absolute legend. And then when George Graham came along, George Graham was obsessed with winning. Even from 86, 87 season, obsessed. He was obsessed with winning. He felt Arsenal could win the league, and we were top of the league. I don't know if you guys seen all history or whatever. We were top of the league for months on end, and then we fell away and finished fourth. Everton ended up winning the first division. So I've always been used to that with the manager, the winning mentality, because the only managers that I've ever seen manage Arsenal were Terry Neal, won one FA Cup, 4 finals. Don Howe, 3 years in charge, didn't win anything with us. But one thing Don Howe did do was that one thing he did, I should say, was he gave Tony Adams, Martin Keown, Dave Rocastle. He gave those players their debuts. Niall Quinn gave them their debuts, and then under George Graham, then they all became regulars in Graham's first team, apart from Martin Keown, who at the time was sold to Aston Villa. So basically, I mean, I can go on all day talking about this, but really, what it is for me, I'm just so used to seeing Arsenal winning is what I'm basically trying to say, and competing. We don't win every season, but I've been so used to competing. So when Emery came to the club, I expected us to compete, and I know that, and Bobby did say that he was only the stopgap because it was Arteta that they wanted. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when Arteta came along and we won the FA Cup, I knew we wasn't going to win the league for us. I didn't think we was ready for that yet. But I thought, you know what? Let's just compete and let's just see where we go, where we get to. And I felt we could have won the Europa League, but there were some things that I wasn't happy with in that second leg in the semi-final against Villarreal, where we did absolutely nothing. So I'm always expecting Arsenal to compete, and for me, and we should have at least won a league title, in my opinion, especially the 22-23 one. Now this season, I thought Arteta was going to come out all guns blazing, and I thought we was going to play the football like we did 2-3 seasons ago. Because I'm sure the man he's probably, well, not probably, I'm sure he is under this will be the most pressure he's ever under because of Josh Kroenke and Andrea Berta. So
Yeah.
at times, why is it we're not seeing? It seems to me like we're not seeing how can I say it? We're not seeing players who we're seeing players who are in form on the bench most of the times, and then we're seeing certain players who's lost with a loss of form, and we're seeing them start. And guys, I mean, what do you think? Do you guys seriously think that Mikel has to go back to the way we played a few seasons ago and basically get the monkeys off their back, so to say?
If I'm honest, right, I've always been an advocate for Arteta. When he came in, he did reunite the fans with the club, and I think he has changed the culture within the club. I really do. I think he has brought back that winning mentality, that competitiveness. And I am an Arteta in guy. I know I come across as not because I see certain problems with the way he plays, his playing style, stuff like that. Which the worst thing for me is we've seen him play that expansive football. We've seen
credit
him
to
play
you. Before you
the
go
good
on, credit
football.
to you because before you go on, credit to you saying that because you see things for what they are and you praise and you criticize.
Yep.
And big respect for you for that. Sorry,
Because
carry on.
I mean, no. For me, we've seen Arteta can play that football. We know he can. We've also seen now the defensive side of the game, which he's done for the last 2 seasons. And I think, does it just take a little light bulb moment where he marries those two together? Because if he does and uses the right personnel, this team could be unstoppable for years. It really could, with a few more additions here and there. But from my point of view, I think, yes, I want to see the more attacking game football in certain games. Don't get me wrong. There's certain games where I think he should play the way he plays defensively, watch the midfield, control the game. But I think there's certain games where he needs to go back to that expansive football because you now have the defensive players that can hold that defense. That's the difference.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Gary?
Oh man, I think I've. What's the question again? I felt like I.
No, it wasn't.
sorry.
I mean, it was
Oh, are you
basically.
saying-
It was just basically about with Mikel. The fact, do you think that he is under pressure to deliver?
I hope so. I mean, that's why he took this job. This is the type of thing, it just comes with the territory. If he sat there and he's learned anything from Wenger, if he learned anything from sitting next to Pep, this is part of the job, right? And this is we go back to the reason why he has the job. Supposedly, he sat next to Pep. If he learned anything from Pep, he learned about that, right? It's not going to be. It's a lot of work you got to put into it. He had his own way of doing it. There's some things that he's doing that we don't see Pep do, but I think there's a lot of things that we see from Pep that we see from him as well. So it comes with the territory. He's got to expect it, right? He puts that same pressure on his players. If they don't perform, what happens? So why wouldn't he expect the same thing to happen to him, right? We saw it, right? Eze is sitting on the bench because of what? Because he didn't perform in Arteta's eyes, right? If Arteta doesn't do the same thing, right, then Berta and the powers that be will have a say as to whether or not he gets to continue, right? Because they have goals as well. I think Berta doesn't really care about the money, right? I think Berta cares about whether he gets to have his manager put his, have trophies on in the new in the cabinet that they're going to build, right? That's what he wants. So I think we bought Berta in for a reason. We bought Berta in is what we needed when we first got Arteta. Is what we need. We needed somebody like that to come in with a young manager and show him help him out and say, this is a little bit of how I've worked with the best. You're not there yet, but you could be. Let's see how this thing goes. But we bought him in a little bit later. but I think he should have a little bit more power than Arteta should in terms of how we progress. We've seen some good things from Berto. We need to see them continue, right? And he should have a say in as to what goes on. So Arteta should have some pressure. I mean, you can't finish 3 times second and not have any pressure on you to actually do better. I mean, the one thing he has done, as you said, is he's progressed us from 8th place, not really fighting for anything, to maybe the league, then for this cup, for that cup, Champions League. Now we're competing on all 4 fronts. He's got us doing that, right? We weren't there for the last years of Wenger. We weren't there for Emery's years. We are there now. So this is if this is the club motto, if he's not going to be able to get us to the next hump, then somebody else will have to. But he's set us up really well. So yeah, he should have pressure. And like I said, I've told others, 2 domestic cups isn't enough. That might keep you in the job. That might not extend you. You know what I mean? He needs to hit one of the big ones, because that's where we're at right now. These players are Champions League and Premier League level players that expect to be able to win those things, and they don't want to be. They shouldn't be held back for for the ideals of the manager, especially when they can do it. They think if Arteta gave them the ability to just go out there and do it, they could do it. I think we have the players to do that. So, why not? Why not?
No, of course. Well, Mark's saying here, like, and all of a sudden he's appointing Marino captain ahead of Gabriel and Jesus. Now when the others aren't playing, no, it's not good at all. I just didn't get that, because I actually looked at that and thought, Gabriel's captain, he will lead the team out, and then that wasn't the case, was it really? But yeah, I love Chris. Marino reminds me of when Klopp first signed Stephen Golker and used him emergency striker to fight for win at Norwich. Oh, bless. For himself. Yeah, we won't.
Just because it worked once doesn't mean it's going to work again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly that.
Marino's that break glass thing, and we're trying to keep breaking the glass, and it's like, no, it doesn't work the way you want it to. I don't think it works the way he wants it to. Yeah. It's not a surprise anymore.
Marino can't get into my Football Manager team, I'll tell you that for sure. You know what I mean? But what we'll do is, just before we wrap this up, though, gentlemen, I thought for tomorrow I have to give them score predictions. What are you going with, Neil?
I'm going to go with a hopefully a very professional, no injuries whatsoever, 2-0 win to Arsenal.
2-0 to the Arsenal. You, Gary?
Yeah, no, clean sheet. I always ask for the clean sheet first or second after a score difference. I mean, 2-0 sounds good to me. I'm going to bump it. Let's do 3-0. But I want the clean sheet more, right? We need to at some point showcase that we can score goals, right? And if the Champions League is where we've been doing it, why not continue? So Martinelli, wake up. Eze, hopefully you get your chance, and where you get your chance, hopefully.
Hopefully he takes
go from there. Yeah.
Hopefully he takes it.
That's the first. He's got to get on the field, and then once he's on the field, and then we'll complain about whether he took the chance the right way. There's got to be a game at some point where we score so many goals that Arteta goes, I can't look away from that. You know what I mean?
It will be.
So far, we haven't seen any game where you're like, well, I guess Eze had a hat trick, and that didn't work. You saw Madueke had a brace, that didn't work. So I mean, somebody's gonna have to score 4 goals, I guess, right?
Hopefully it's Gyökeres.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope Noni doesn't score a rocket tomorrow. He'll miss the game against United.
Yeah, let's hope Eze doesn't score either in that case.
Did it? Well, I'm gonna have to go differently, gentlemen. For me, I've already put this on my Super 6, on my Sky Super 6. Because there'll be changes, I think Saliba and Gabriel will both play. And I would play them. Because obviously Nketiah is not back yet, and Calafiori, I don't think he's back yet, is he? I haven't even checked the injury news. But Mosquera's still out, so
No,
you have to play our
Mascara's
main
in.
guy. Oh, is he in?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Mascara, I think,
he
was on the
won't.
bench. I think. Yeah.
But I don't think he probably won't start. And you know what? And I agree with the manager on that. I wouldn't rush players back. I wouldn't give them some minutes, but I wouldn't rush them back. So I think because I feel that R2 will play it more, and I have a feeling that oh yeah, I don't think Kepa will play tomorrow, so I think it'll be Rowe instead. Um, I'm going with 0-0. I'm going with. I don't think we'll lose tomorrow. I think we'll get a point. I think it'd be one of those war 0-0s, and you know what? It wouldn't even bother me if it's 0-0. And to be honest, if we lost 1-0 tomorrow, I wouldn't be disappointed either, because I think we'd still be in a really good position, and also because we're 3 points ahead of Bayern Munich, and I just feel we'll be even more fired up for Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah, I just want to kill United. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, same here. Because I mean, United fans are now talking, aren't they? So, which I get, but they're beaten. It's an out of sorts, more inconsistent than us, Manchester City right now.
But how much do you want to shut them up though? Like I do
very much
on
so.
Twitter,
Very much so.
on X. I want to spend my evening
Yeah.
shutting all of them up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need that Villa
Which is
type
I would
response,
take.
right?
Yeah.
That Villa type of
Yeah.
reply in regards to
That's it.
where do you actually sit? Like yes, you beat City, but as you say, we are the Arsenal, right? So
Exactly that. Oh, great show, gents. Yeah, thank you, Mark, for that. Thank you. Well, listen, guys. Gary, I will be tuning in to you before I go to bed tonight over here, as it's almost 9:45 over here. So I'll definitely be tuning in. Have a good one tonight. If you don't, I'll be in the chat for a bit. But then if I'm not, if you find I'm not in the chat, it's probably because you won't hear me snoring. So, but because I know I've known because I've got to be up at around 8:30 in the morning anyway, get myself together and get myself sorted out for work, as we do. You know what I mean? But
I'll be up at 5 with the kids. So
bless you. Oh yeah, my days of that are over. I mean, well, I don't call them kids now. I call them giants, man, because they're both taller than me. That's my son.
We've got as everyone knows, my wife and I have 7 between us.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah. So and my littlest actually he's just woken up. Actually, he's not very well at the moment. So I'm going to be heading to. I'm guessing on a night of dealing with someone with a temperature, which is going to be really fun.
I know them ones. I've got experience of that, man. Seriously. But listen, gentlemen, thank you very much. And well, tomorrow it is a big game, but I just think we're really in a really good position. And yeah, I don't mind what result is as long as we. You know what? I just want a performance tomorrow. I want a performance to take that into Sunday. That's what I want.
Yeah,
that is what I want. I don't expect us to beat.
I always say, can you just do a little bit better from game to game? Because if you do that 38 times, guess what happens? You'll be all right. So whatever we didn't do right in the last one, we'll do a little bit better in the next. This one, we need to finish that first shot. We do that at home. The crowd will be on our side.
I was waiting for this type of comment from Chris. I was waiting for that comment, right? Seriously. Oh man, I was waiting for that. You see, Bobby and I get that all the time. You know how much he loves kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
0-0.
I get it.
1-0 either way. Well, listen. Thank you also in the chat as well. Big up yourselves. You know what I mean? Always big up Chris, big up Michael, big up Shane. And big up SBO. Big up all yourselves. And thank you guys coming on. And
having me.
Dolly, where can I find you, man?
I'm on X. Also in the football takeover, spent a lot of time with those guys, and also in their chats. So yeah, always around. If you want a decent debate on X or anything, yeah, I'm your guy. But thank you for having me on, Brenny. I always appreciate it. It's
No,
always a good
always.
show, so I appreciate it.
No, definitely. And of course, we do link up on Takeover as well from time to time. And Gary as well. Listen, thank you for coming on, man. Davey, always wanted you on.
No, thanks.
My,
Thanks for having me.
my fellow,
Appreciate it.
in it,
It was fun.
my W3 guy. You know what I mean? My W3 guy, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had to use that. I had to use that postcode so I could get into Channel 4 this evening. So, or this weekend. So yeah, I know this. I know the postcode.
Yeah, people are going to try and track me down now, and then they're going to track me down on one side of Acton because it's so big, Acton. So you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, I thought Brenny was over there. No, he's not. I don't know where he is. It's so big, man. I just don't know where to find him. But no, big up yourselves, man. Thank you very much. And like I said, we'll be tuning in later on. Please, if you're going to be up and about tonight, please tune in to DWTT half 12 tonight UK time. Please tune in and please like, share, subscribe to this absolute legend here. But gentlemen, thank you very much and thank you everyone. And we are out. Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. All right. See